I'm gonna be entirely honest, I did not believe that this day would come. The day that I would be comfortable uttering the following words. I'm back. Returning to competitive play has been a fairly interesting experience because more than me learning about the game and the competitive scene, I learned a lot about myself. And that's what this video is going to focus on. How have I been treating Overwatch ever since I started playing Comp again, and how did it change my perspective on it? Just a quick heads up for everyone who actually watches these videos as opposed to just listening. I'm not going to be able to show you the gameplay of every match that I'm going to describe simply because of the way that I record my footage. I only shadow play my highlights because if I record entire matches, then my hard drive is going to fill up too quickly, and a lot of what I'm going to describe today are my own failings as a player. So you're going to be seeing the usual variety gameplay showing off a bunch of heroes, while I am making an effort to present as much competitive gameplay as possible. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get right into it. The very first thing that even got me thinking about wanting to play Comp again was an urge for self-improvement. Even in my prime, I didn't give enough of a shit to try and get deep into GM and top 500 because it felt like a massive investment that I was not willing to make. That also means, however, that I've never fully explored the limits of my own skill ceiling, even back when I was on the grind. I would play up into GM to get my competitive points and then just kinda stop. Because at the time, I found that the game was getting more and more annoying. I was not enjoying the meta trends that were coming around ever since the beginning of Season 4, and as such, my game time dwindled more and more until during Season 7, I made the decision to just stop playing Comp entirely. By then, I had done a great job of absolutely nuking my own MMR, we'll talk about that later, and thus I did not have a hard time saying goodbye. The difference here is very important to highlight, because rather than chasing down an arbitrary rank for the sake of a meaningless reward, I actually have the desire to explore how good I can get at this game. And not to spoil the whole point of this video, but man, if there's one realization that came crashing down on me, it's the fact that I'm completely and utterly washed up. I played 3 and 7 for my placements and ended up around 3600, which is obviously not great. Trust me when I say that I have plenty of reasons to have an inflated ego when it comes to which rank I believe I should have, but the first thing that came to mind was the opposite. It was not an angry demand for better matchmaking or the accusation of a rigged ladder system. I noticed just how much more I could have done and how much more I have done in the past. And obviously, skill levels are always compared relative to the entire player base at the time, but fact of the matter is that I have not stopped playing Overwatch. I've been playing casually almost this entire time, and as such I felt I had a pretty good grasp on the game, but holy hell, so many things have changed ever since the last time I seriously played on Ranked. I mean, we went through a multitude of different meta trends on top of having added a whole bunch of maps. Common strategies have changed, and now I was here having to catch up. Quite frankly, the fact that I was placed lower ended up being a gift more than a punishment, because it allowed me to acclimate myself to the current ladder environment without getting stomped out of my mind. What good does it do for me when I place in GrandMaster but I play like a diamond? And funnily enough, Jeff would give me the opportunity to experience that exact thing. You see, at the start I was paying a lot of attention to Overbuff. Overbuff was the only way for me to meaningfully track my progression as I tried to get back into the groove of playing and improving. And even though I knew how much of a meme Overbuff stats are, I have fallen prey to it and started to think that I was actually doing remarkably well after just a few sessions. Hey, look at how great my statistics are, I can already compare myself to GM players on the same hero. And it was then that I felt really confident about my improvement being swift and easy. It was also then that I tweeted out the following: yes, inevitable losses suck, but I definitely deserve the low rank I have right now. More than anything, I'm super motivated to try and get better, return to my old form and go even further beyond. Short-term goal, top 100 Zen. Now, Zenyatta is my best hero, and I'm still confident that I can reach that goal. However, the confidence that gave birth to this initial statement was nothing but a fluke. While the game initially paired me up with a lot of low masters, such as myself, and a number of high diamonds, I started having to go up against high masters, grandmasters, and top 500s. And that was not the result of me rapidly improving. It was the simple fact of the matter that sometimes you need a low master player to fill out a top 500 lobby. And it was then that I realized just how long of a way I still had to go, that I would not be able to reach my own peak performance within just a couple of weeks. Naturally, I do have other responsibilities next to playing a game and making YouTube videos about it, so my initial playtime is still very modest. But it's still more than I've played in the past 8 seasons combined, and I don't see myself wanting to stop. Anyway, playing against GMs and top 500s has shown me just how fragile my performance is. For one, I'm usually playing Overwatch in complete silence. I made a conscious decision not to join voice chat, and as such, I've gotten very used to the idea of completely focusing on nothing but my own play. But whenever I ended up in these high elo lobbies, I did join voice chat. And oh my god, did that ever mess with my head. Like, people would talk so much that I was worrying about accidentally having queued on NA. It's not like I necessarily missed a lot of sound cues or anything that got me smashed, but just the fact that there was this constant source of noise had already put a dent in my performance. And more than that, can you believe that I was getting nervous over a round of competitive play in Overwatch? While I do not care about my own rank, these guys trying to maintain their top 500 status probably do. And the more I tried to play better, the worse I did. I was missing easy shots on Ana, I misused my cooldowns, and completely forgot about the fact that there are different heroes I can play when I have a hard time staying alive. But I was so stumped by my own poor performance that I did not even think about that. GM games are just so much faster in nature than the usual Masters matches I've played, and I could not focus as much as I usually did when not joining voice. I was so embarrassed after that poor showing that I decided not to stop playing until I felt comfortable about my own performance on this day specifically. Now, at this point, next to making fun of me for being bad at the game, you're probably wondering a couple things that I want to address. Why did I make the decision not to join voice chat? Honestly, I've long lost the attitude of believing that I own anything to anyone. I know that the latter would be a much better place if everyone joined voice chat and was cooperative, but there's nothing in the game that encourages players to actually do any of these things. And as such, I do not feel obligated to try and be a good teammate for a good teammate's sake. I mostly care about trying to improve myself, and in my experience, joining voice chat is annoying more times than it is helpful. Not to mention that I didn't feel like I was doing much harm to the army of one-trick Smurf accounts that I was playing with. At least I was willing to flex, and that's another thing. How far am I going in trying to win? Well, since my SR does not really matter to me, you'd assume that winning is also a secondary objective. I do care about winning, but I have my limits on how far I'm willing to go to achieve that. For example, I'm not gonna play certain heroes. Long story short is that I do not enjoy playing characters like Mercy, and I don't care for playing main tanks as a flex support. I will go Roadhog when I have to, and I do switch to mate to stall, and I begrudgingly play Baptiste when my team wants to go bunker. But I really want to get better at my core heroes. One tip that kinda stuck with me was something Karq has said on stream the other day, how Moira is the perfect hero to counter multi-DPS meme comps because the damage orb really mitigates a lot of aggression when the enemy team does not have a lot of healing. So I'm still playing Moira simply because it's difficult to play Ana and Zen with an uncoordinated team into a DPS meme comp that pokes you from all sides. Even though I'm not enjoying it, and even though Moira is the reason I nuked my MMR on my main account. Turns out that being a Zenyatta one-trick, flexing onto heroes like Mercy and Moira only because people are crying causes you to lose more games than you'd like to admit. I mean, the top 500 lobbies that I had to fill showed me that identifying when my hero is not working is an important skill set, but you know, I'm not gonna stop playing heroes I never touch only for the sake of filling. I am flexing within the realm of my own skill sets. So what is really the point of this video? I guess it's a bit of an experience report. When I was taking a break from Overwatch, I talked about my experiences coming back while bringing a fresh new mindset from having played other games. And now, after such a long time of not having played ranked, I felt like it would be appropriate to do it again. Some of you guys might know that my favorite game mode is Mystery Heroes, and as such, I am a reasonably flexible player, but it also means that I never put enough time into any hero to master them, especially in relation to the current meta. Focusing my efforts on trying to get better at a set few heroes is a very different experience from playing all kinds of heroes for the sake of variety. It's hard to say which one I enjoy more, because playing different heroes casually is really fun since it makes the game feel so fundamentally different. But I have kind of reignited a fire in myself that I was not sure I still had. The desire and determination to get better. The wish to explore my own skill ceiling, the willingness to take competitive play with all the bad sides as much as all the good sides. Honestly, yes, I am getting toxic teammates, leavers, throwers, and one-tricks as much as the next guy, but considering my vast experience with all of these things in the past, it does not really faze me all that much. It honestly annoys me more to see GM Smurf accounts in quick play sweating their dicks off against casual players who are just looking to have a chill time than losing a game because my Reaper keeps dying while trying to flank and 1v6 on ladder. My advice here would be to not let your SR tell you how good or bad of a player you are. You can always grow and get better, and if you know where you stand as a player, then it's easier not to get frustrated over losing a bunch of SR. Hell, I've seen top 500 players drop into Masters all the time because of sheer luck, or I guess the lack thereof. But many of them don't start needlessly throwing a fit because at the end of the day, they know that they are top 500 players. And they know that, given enough time, they will get back up there. Your actual skill is represented more by a range of SR rather than one hard number. So, for me as well, having pushed the frustration that is your rank aside and really wanting to get better has ultimately revitalized my own desire to want to play competitive. And I'm really hoping that this keeps up so I can gradually increase my playtime during the next couple seasons until eventually, perhaps, competitive play turns into my main game mode once again. For now, it's kinda cool to have a foot in both the casual and the competitive scene, but we'll see where that goes in the future. And until then, it's time for me to finally end this video. Thank you everybody so much for listening to my ramblings. I hope you enjoyed your time with it, and if you did, don't forget to drop me a like on your way out and leave a comment down below with your own return stories. That is, if you have ever stopped playing comp. Also, don't forget that the humble Sony Vegas Bundle is still on sale among other great bundles that you can get via my affiliate link in the description below or by following the card on screen. And don't forget, it's always easier not to care about your rank when you're down at the bottom anyway. I've got nothing to lose but my own pride, and God knows that YouTube has already taken that one anyway. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.